Hey, welcome to Yo-Yo Talk. And this is our 64th episode, and I'm just very happy to be here. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving and maybe found some yo-yos along the way. I had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Played about 20 games of ping pong, I think, and came out on the winning end of most of them anyway. And while we're waiting for folks to sign in, I'll do a few updates. You may remember that Velma Daniels had written a book about Don Duncan Sr. I've talked about the book in the past on the show. It's available on Amazon if you want to get it. It's got some interesting stuff in it and a few things I didn't know. Velma also wrote a book about me, and her sales for this book went as predicted. Picture in your mind a garden full of butterflies with broken wings. Very depressing. So anyway, well, Velma wanted to have a book signing at my house, and I said it was okay. And this goes back quite a while because COVID kind of got in the way of this signing, and then a hurricane got away. And then she was planning on doing it on June 6th, which is National Yo-Yo Day. But again, that didn't work out. So 2 weeks ago, it finally happened. I hosted her book signing. She was planning on 300 people showing up, but it was a cold and rainy day, so she only got about 30. The good news was that she had hired an ice cream truck to give out good humor ice cream bars like Don Duncan was associated with, and everybody got several. She had some custom yo-yos made for the event, now very collectible. And she also had Sean Perez, you can see there, doing a performance. And everybody that came had a good time. And I believe she maybe sold 2 or 3 copies of the Duncan book and 0 on me. But I doubt she made up for the cost of all that ice cream that she was providing for free. I did have 3 ice creams myself, and they were very good. So anyway, we just kind of hung there on that rainy day, and I hope her book sales go good in the future. But I told her there's absolutely no way my book is going to ever sell unless I become famous in the future, and that is highly unlikely at this point. John Maishral asked me if there was a logo for the Hall of Fame, and there is. Sean, can you show that logo? I won't say that I am opposed to changing that with a better logo, but that's what we're working with right now. So that is kind of the official or unofficial logo for the Yo-Yoing Hall of Fame. He also asked me if the inductees get a plaque or some kind of trophy or something, and yes, they do. This is the this is the plaque of Pedro Flores. And that's pretty much a similar type of plaque is what all the Hall of Famers get. They have a kind of a metallic photo image on this plaque. It's a pretty nice plaque. So all of them get that. So it's a very nice thing. And he also wanted to know if there were yo-yos made of each of the Hall of Famers. And not that I'm aware of, but somebody actually should do a Hall of Fame series. I think that's a great idea. I will say, though, that there are many of the inductees that have their own signature yo-yos. Matter of fact, almost all of them, except for maybe some of the ones that have departed a long time ago. But anyway, so that, I think, answered John's questions. I don't know if John is watching right now. I don't know if Ron Mawson finally got checked in. Ron's yo-yo collector said he was going to be watching. I'll do a little shout out for him. He may not be watching live, but welcome to Yo-Yo Talk, Ron. You may or may not be aware that the Florida State Yo-Yo Championships are happening next weekend, not this weekend, but the following weekend. They're in Groveland, Florida. I talked to them about them a lot last episode with Dano the Mano, who is the co-director of the event. If you want to find out really detailed information, just watch last month's episode. I believe Sean Perez is the other co-director. Doc Lucky's Yo-Yo Talk is the title sponsor for the event, and I will say they've got a lot of good players coming in, and they have made sure that they have some excellent judges coming in for the event. And I hope even if you are not planning on coming and competing, you will at least show up with a sack full of yo-yos for trade. I am going to bring in a trading table myself, and since this is relatively local to me, I'm also going to do some other stuff. Here's some of my trading yo-yos that I'm going to be bringing. But I'm also going to have my put two in, take one out bucket. This is a bucket of kind of very low-level collectible yo-yos. They're usually cheap, inexpensive type of souvenir yo-yos or other kind of low-grade yo-yos. And you can kind of rifle through them and see what you don't have. So you put two in, take one out, and that way the bucket grows, and it's a lot of fun getting to root through all those kind of junk yo-yos and fill in some in your collection. So souvenir yo-yos, advertising yo-yos, those are the kind of yo-yos that go into that bucket. I will say they are going to have a duo competition, which I am sponsoring. We already have 3 teams signed up, so that's very cool. It's not too late to sign up for the Florida State Championships. They close their entries on Tuesday evening of next week, I believe. So get your entries in, and I look forward to seeing everybody there. And Yo-Yo Talk will be there doing some filming, and we'll certainly be doing a lot of training. Update on the nominees for the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame. You only have 4 more weeks to put in a nomination. Everybody can put in one nomination, and you can nominate anybody. If you look, you'll see the nominees. The 3 that have the most nominations will automatically go into our 10 finalist pool. So it does make a difference if you put your nomination in for somebody that's already on the list. But if you see somebody that you feel is deserving that is not on the list, please nominate that person. And I can think of several people right off the top of my head that should be on that list. Right now, can you show our top 3 leaderboard? It really hasn't changed from last month. It's Jimmy Johnson, John Higbee, and Bob Maloney, all both obviously very well known in the yo-yo world. But again, this does not guarantee them being an inductee. These are the people that are nominated right now. Whoops. Okay, where's my... This one. Okay, here we go. This is the nominee list, just I think in alphabetical order. Ben McPhee, Bob Maloney, Brad Countryman, Brandon Vu, Chuck Short, Fast Eddie McDonald, Gentry Stein, I don't know why, Hans von Donnelsen, I don't know why that's small, Jennifer Baybrook, Jimmy Johnson, John Higbee, Julius, Mark McBride, Noel, and Paul Escalar, and Stuart Crump, and Tommy Reyes. So all these people, very, very worthy people, and it's great that they're on that list. Like I said, I see a few more people that probably should be on that list, and so get your nominations in. You have until December 31st, and then what will happen is after that, the 3 top people with the most nominations automatically go in the finalist pool. I'll send the list of nominees to the executive board, which is mostly made up of Hall of Famers, and the executive board will then vote, and they will pick 7 that will be added to those first 3, and then those 10 will be voted on by the Academy of Yo-Yo Arts, and to select our 3 nominees. And I'll keep you informed on Yo-Yo Talk on how that's going.
Well, hey, let me say something really quick.
Sure.
I don't know if you saw the comment section, but John Marshall, according to him, says, Dennis McBride, who said, I was inducted in 2007, Bob Maloney presented me with a beautiful engraved redwood ink pen and case. And if that is true, that means John Marshall would be the only person inducted twice, right? He's already in, isn't he? Or is he not in?
No. But he's talking about Dennis McBride. Dennis McBride is in the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame.
Do you read the wording on that? It's on your screen. Read the wording.
Yeah, I said, heard from Dennis McBride, who said I was inducted in 2001.
Oh, okay. I was reading that as John Marshall. And Dennis was saying that
and I'm not
John.
sure, to be quite frank, those plaques that you saw, like the Flores plaque, if it was a plaque that I made, and when I've been chair, that everybody's gotten plaques. I thought they were doing plaques earlier on. I'm not exactly sure. They may have been something different in 2001, but I'm certainly happy to make plaques for any living member that would like to have a plaque similar. Just let me know. We will get a plaque to you because you have certainly earned that honor. So let's see. Okay, well, just to let everybody know, we are going to have our trivia contest at the end of the show. If you haven't watched in the last few weeks, we've changed the format a little bit. This is a live contest that you need to sign in for to being able to participate. You can be watching on Facebook, you can be watching on YouTube, on Twitch, but you still must sign into the contest. Putting in the comment section like we used to do on Facebook doesn't work anymore. So this is kind of a time contest too. So you have to be live within that contest. We only have 20 slots, so you need to make sure you sign in. The first 20 get to play. The faster you answer the questions, the more points you score if you are correct. Do you have the QR code link up? And
the link is in the chat.
Okay, the link is in the chat.
I will say from last episode, we did up the time on each question a little bit, so it is still timed. But for those that were in last month, it was a little too fast for some, so we upped it just a little bit. So
well, what's the time on? How much did we?
30 seconds per question.
Okay, 30. That should be plenty. Not enough time to really look questions up, but the people that answer quicker get higher points. And it is 5 questions. So are you putting up a QR code too, or just the?
Just the link.
Just the link.
Yeah,
okay, so go on and sign in. You can go on and sign in now. We want to get people signed in so we're ready to go when it's time to run the trivia contest. Okay, so you'll want to see what you're playing for. We got a couple of interesting items here, stuff you can't find on eBay. Go on and show what our prize package is. This is what you're playing for in our trivia contest tonight. It is our Christmas episode. So we do have a very special Higby yo-yo. This is his Santa yo-yos. This is painted on both sides by the famous yo-yo artist John Higby. I've been giving these away the last couple of years. This is the last one. I have no more of these Higby Santa yo-yos. I don't think they're any that he has for sale left on his site. So this is going to be a true collectible. He's kind of like Van Gogh. He's maybe the sales aren't that great and the recognition isn't that great right now. But one day, because Van Gogh, he never sold hardly any of his paintings, and Higby sells a lot more. But in the future, you may say, it's just like Van Gogh. I wish I had gotten that Higby when I had a chance. And I've been encouraging John to cut an ear off, too, to speed up the process. And the other yo-yo is this special yo-yo made for Velma Daniels. She wrote a little book about me, which had very low sales, like 0. And she made a special yo-yo for her book signing of this, and there were only a very few copies made. This is a Duncan XT. Actually a pretty good yo-yo, very, very rare, and I will sign it for you because there are only a handful of these out there. So that's what you'll be playing for tonight. All right, Bob Rules just wrote that he never got a plaque or anything, and that's actually kind of a crime almost. But I will say this, I think you got inducted before they were even had created making plaques. So he's been around a long time. So anyway, I will make sure, Bob, that you get a plaque. I will make that a mission of myself. Now, it's not going to be like next week. These plaques actually take us 2 or 3 months to actually produce and get done. But I will make sure you get your Hall of Fame plaque because you deserve it. So anyway, that's what you guys are playing for the trivia contest. I don't think you're going to see any of those on eBay soon. Just a reminder that Crowd Live, that's what you need to be signing in for the trivia contest. We want everybody to sign in.
Wait, it's not Crowd Live, it's Crowd Per.
Oh, I'm sorry, Crowd
Per.
It says crowd live on
That
the.
crowd live, it's saying that the thing is live. That's a URL. If the name of
Well,
the
that's what I'm
software
saying is they're going to the URL that says crowd live, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you're trying to log on from your computer, you can also go on crowdper.com.
Yeah. No. That sounds like a porno site or something. So yeah, the crowd live here is that URL is what you need to be clicking on. Okay, last week I promised that I was going to shoot a little video of the 10 coolest things in my collection. Now these don't mean they are necessarily the most expensive. Some of them are, but or that they're necessarily all that rare or unique, but it's what I consider to be very cool and very important in the yo-yo history world. I will also say that it might not be as exciting to watch as seeing a YouTube video on the top 10 things that will most likely eat you in the middle of the night, but watching this may give you a couple of hints for the trivia contest that will be on at the end of the show. Okay, Sean, let's run those top 10 coolest things in my collection. Number 10. This yo-yo is one of my favorite yo-yos to show people when they come in to see the collection. It's actually a laser yo-yo. I saw this on eBay. I don't think people realized what it was. It was basically a prototype. They never sold it because it has that danger laser warning sticker on it. But it is pretty amazing yo-yo because it does have a real laser beam in it. This laser you can see well in the light, and you can see it even better in these dark views. But one of my favorite things is to tell kids that don't let your toes touch the laser or it'll cut them off. And then, of course, I immediately throw the yo-yo and have the laser beam approach their toes. Lots of fun. Number 9. This is more of a category than an actual item. Some people will collect yo-yos like associated with stars. Other people may like to collect yo-yos associated with sports figures and things like that, which is all fine. I like to concentrate on collecting yo-yos from famous yo-yo people, and I think I have most of the living members of the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame autographed yo-yos, and I have several that have subsequently passed, and those are, of course, are very unique. I think, for instance, Jack Russell, I have several signed Jack Russell yo-yos, and those may be the only one signed by Jack Russell. So these will go up in value, and of course they're important historically. I will say this, it is very important to make sure when you are having yo-yos autographed that you use a fade-proofed ink pen. I will show you here the Don Duncan Jr. yo-yo, this blue yo-yo, completely gone. That was signed by Don Duncan Jr. You can't even read it now. I have another one by Tommy Smothers, the same thing, just evaporated away. Number 8. This is more of a category as well. Anything from the 1700s or the 18th century. This yo-yo is made of 2 medallions which were put together. It's dated in the 1700s. We also have these lithographs from 1791 showing English people playing the quiz, which was another name for the yo-yo back then. Here is one of the earliest French drawings of a yo-yo. That's dated 1792. And this is an example of a hammered brass Bandalore. This was from the 1790s as well and from a British museum. Number 7. This is my yo-yo curtain. I built this over a decade ago. It was for a shot that we were sending in to Guinness. Originally, it was a standalone frame, but everybody liked taking their picture with it, so we decided to move it upstairs on the 3rd floor and make it a permanent feature. And this certainly is one of the favorite photo ops for people that come and visit the collection. The kids just love coming through the back of the curtain, and of course it makes all kinds of banging sounds as there are many metal yo-yos in it. And the very neat thing is, at the end, there is a hidden surprise when we turn out the lights in the 3rd floor. You see this secret message appear. Number 6. This is without a doubt the biggest photo op in my collection, and the most photographed as well. Not because of yo-yo collectors, but because we have so many swimmers come and visit the house. Everybody wants to take a picture with the world's largest yo-yo. Now, technically speaking, it's no longer the current world record holder. I believe this is the 3rd, maybe the 4th largest yo-yo ever made. There are definitely 2 yo-yos that were made larger than this. My yo-yo, which is known as the Shakamak Yo-Yo, was made in 1990. It's 6 feet tall and it weighs 820 pounds. But in 2010, Bay College, or the Bay College Yo-Yo, they made that yo-yo, and it's 11 feet 6 inches in diameter, and it weighed 1,620 pounds. However, the current world record holding largest yo-yo is the Beth Johnson yo-yo. The Beth Johnson yo-yo is 4,620 pounds and 11 feet 9 inches. So I believe the Beth Johnson yo-yo still is in existence. I'm not sure about the Bay College yo-yo, but this is still a pretty darn big yo-yo, and very proud to have it. It did require having a forklift and a flatbed truck to have it delivered, and I have put it in original packaging outside to protect it. I did have to remove all the names off the yo-yo that were originally on there. I believe they charged each of the kids that participated $1 to pay for the supplies to make it, and then they got to sign the yo-yo. But it was starting to rot away, and we had to treat the wood, so we had to remove at least the areas that had the signatures on it. But a very cool yo-yo, and I'm sure if any of you guys stop by, it is a neat photo op. Now, I gotta say, these yo-yos do require it going up and down. They all use a crane, but I have used this yo-yo in another fashion, which is, I don't believe, ever been used before. I'm going to go on and show you the whole video. It's pretty quick. It's only about 2.5 minutes long. But I used this yo-yo in my ice bucket water challenge, or the ice water bucket challenge, back when they were doing that ALS series, and so here that is. Hi, I'm Doc Lucky Meisenheimer, and this is my Ice Bucket Water Challenge for ALS. For those that are frigophobics and those that do not like fun, you will not enjoy this video. For everybody else, enjoy. This challenge required a whole bunch of chairs, an 800-pound yo-yo along with a camera dolly, a guillotine and zombie, the cabinet of blood with a special surprise inside. All right, here we go. We're ready. One yo-yo will start a chain of events which will change our lives. So this yo-yo vase, this is something I've talked about on the show a few times in the past. This is a Japanese vase. Originally we thought it was 800 to 1,000 years old. Now we believe it's from the 18th century, probably around the mid 1750s, 1740s. Still very old, and what I like about this vase is, although it's not as old as we originally thought, it is one of the earliest depictions of a yo-yo in the art world. And it also shows players playing the Diablo, which I believe the Diablo came from the yo-yo or the yo-yo came from the Diablo. Now, it was valued at $80,000 by one of these collector shows. It is priceless to me because I don't think historically there's anything like this, and I'm happy to have it in my collection. It is in its own display case, as you can see, which rotates, and I really think it is something that depicts the association between the yo-yo and the Diablo. Number 4. Mr. Bandalore is the second most often photo-opt item in my collection, as most visitors like to stand and throw the yo-yo with the Mr. Bandalore statue. He's a great partner to throw with, as he never complains or tries to show you up with a better trick. He is 6 feet 2 inches tall, and I made him about 20 years ago out of 603 different yo-yos. And yes, the yo-yos he has, many of them do light up, and originally he had yo-yos that actually rotated on his chest. Unfortunately, that mechanism broke. He has graced the cover of magazines, been displayed in museums, he's been asked out on dates. When we had the Scorching Score of the Week segment, we used him. The only problem with him is that late at night he wanders around the house, and it is very uncomfortable waking up with him staring in your face. Number 3. Again, number 3 is more of a category rather than an individual item. For me, the 1993 Nationals was a milestone in the modern yo-yo play, and any memorabilia associated with this event I feel is not only historic, but also highly collectible. When the 93 Nationals happened, it had been 3 decades since the last national championship, and I classify this event as the start of the modern yo-yo movement. Although California had run their state championships for several years, the 1993 Nationals changed everything. If you look at some of the photos from the event, you will see many Hall of Fame members that shaped the resurgence of the yo-yo and inspired the modern yo-yo competitions. Compared to the size of Nationals currently, the competition seems quite quaint, but it was the seed that grew into what we have today. Next year will be the 30th anniversary of the 1993 Nationals that was originally held in Chico, California, and I, for one, look forward to attending the event, as everyone involved in the sport should as well. Number 2. Well, if you're a yo-yo collector, you all know the Mr. Yo-Yo or the Mr. Yo-Yo statue that graced the cover of the Duncan Trick books. This was based on the cartoon character that was in these trick books. Well, behind the scenes, there was actually a statue. There were 2 of them, one which was used for the cover of the book, and then another one was made, which was larger, 12 inches to be exact, and it was found in the lobby of the Duncan Yo-Yo plant in Luck, Wisconsin. So that yo-yo statue, well, actually both of the yo-yo statues disappeared. Nobody knew where they were. Well, it turns out this one, the 12-inch one, that was in the lobby of the Duncan plant, and this was made by the employees of the Donald Duncan Company. Mr. Yo-Yo was in a collection. Tex Schultz, a yo-yo demonstrator in the 50s and 60s for Duncan, had taken the statue when the plant closed. when he passed, it passed on to a collector who then sold it to another collector. So thank you, Tex Schultz, for preserving an important piece of yo-yo history, Mr. Yo-Yo. But anyway, it ended up in another collector's hands, and it ended up on eBay, which I saw and recognized the importance of this. Now, this is not to be confused with a reproduction Yo-Yo Man, which you see here, which is much smaller. This one we do not actually know the origin of. We do know that it has Lofty and I believe the 91 written on it, so we know that it is not an original Yo-Yo Man statue. But if anybody does know the origin of this one, and this also is different as far as when the Yo-Yo Man statue spins around, you will see here in a moment that he is giving everyone a finger, and I can assure you neither one of the Donald F. Duncan Yo-Yo Men statuettes was giving you the finger on the backside. So anyway, this came up just recently. I just recently acquired it, so it is now on display in the collection. There it is, Lofty 92. That's the year this smaller Yo-Yo Man was made. Not one of the original ones, but we do have the original one, and it is now preserved for the future generations so they can see what it was. And of course, everybody does worship that statuette. Number 1. About 20 or 30 episodes ago, you may remember I was decapitating a mannequin, and I wouldn't tell you exactly why, but I said later on I will show you, and you will be impressed why I'm decapitating this mannequin. And it just isn't a hobby. What we did was we created a 3D image of Pedro Flores's head, and now he is now a diorama up on the 3rd floor of the Yo-Yo collection. We have a great collection of Pedro Flores original items. His desk, his typewriter with letterhead. This is very interesting. This is his highball glass with the big P on it. Turns out he really enjoyed his highballs as well as dancing, but what he really enjoyed was smoking. He started smoking at the age of 3, and that's probably why he died way too young. That buckeye there in his ashtray, he used those to practice carving yo-yos with. But there's a lot of great Pedro Flores memorabilia here. He is holding an original Pedro Flores yo-yo. And you, of course, know the slogan, if it isn't a dunk... Oh, wait. It's right there. If it isn't a Flores, it isn't a yo-yo. I wonder who invented that phrase. Anyway, there's a wealth of information here. This little photograph, which is blown up, I had this produced. I've made 20 of them. Pedro Flores also dabbled in calligraphy, so that Pedro Flores was done by him, and this is him with one of his vehicles in the early 30s. So a very cool diorama. This is my favorite, most cool thing in my entire collection. I hope you all come and sit down with Pedro Flores someday and get a good photo op with him. All right, yeah, so there are the 10 coolest things. In my mind, there's a lot of things in the collection. It's kind of hard to, decide which is the best. I will say on the comment about giving the finger to the people that ask you if you can walk the dog. Anybody that's done any kind of yo-yo demonstration or show knows that is like the one question they're always going to ask you, can you walk the dog? And actually, at that little thing I had a couple weeks ago here at the house, somebody did come up and ask me if I could do that really difficult trick, walk the dog. So yes, people think that is the highest level of yo-yo performance if you can walk the dog. And I wasn't sure the number of paintings that Van Gogh, who was that said, Mark said that Van Gogh only sold one painting, so Higby sold hundreds, so that must mean he's much better level than Van Gogh. And so if a Van Gogh goes for several $1 million, no telling what that yo-yo is going to be going for. So I hope you all are going to enter the trivia contest, which is going to happen, I guess, right next, is it not? That's what's up? Okay, so you want the Higby yo-yo that will probably sell like a Van Gogh in 20 or 30 years. And this is your opportunity to get one for free and turn around and make several $1 million, or at least your estate. So what you need to do is you need to sign in at that URL, the Crowd Live URL, and I guess it goes to Crowd Per, right?
Yes. That
okay.
It goes to
so I
Crowd
apologize
Per.
about making the porno joke about Crowd Per now, since they are what we're using
Well,
to
we
run.
did Google it in our off time right between that last video, and there is not one, so it's PG-13.
All right. So anyway, sign on in, and we'll give you a couple minutes here.
Now we got 4 of the 20. So it's
only 4 people. Come on, you kind of man up here, guys.
I'm gonna post it back in the chat one more time.
You do not get your man card stamped tonight unless you enter the trivia contest. I mean, that's a 1 out of 4 chance. Let me ask you: out of those 4, is one of them the Nickinator?
Let me look. I actually
Has the Nickinator? I know the Nickinator was watching a little bit. Did he? Because it's worth it just to enter a trivia contest, just to be able to beat the Nickinator, because that's bragging rights enough for anybody. If you can beat the Nickinator at a yo-yo trivia contest, you've really done something.
Absolutely, and I think that would be the epitome of being a viewer of our show, is beating
the Nickinator in something. Yes.
If we get a few more, we might be able to start a Hall of Fame.
So is the Nickinator signed in for our trivia contest?
I can't see what the 5 players are until we start.
Oh, you can't see who they are. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, how are we doing? You say we got 5 now?
We got 5. Yep.
5. Come on, guys. Let's get a couple more. Make it interesting. I know there's people out there saying, "Oh, I don't want to miss the question. I'll feel stupid," or something like that. You know, I honestly, I don't know. A lot of these questions are almost, you just got to be lucky to get them right. I'm not sure I would know the answers to any of them without having them looked them up ahead of time. So it's just supposed to be fun, and you've got probably about as good a chance as anybody else to win those nice yo-yos there. So
I will also say no one's stupider on yo-yo trivia than me. So as long as you do better than me, then you'll be able to have a chance. We got 6 out of 20.
6 out of 20. Come on, let's get it.
We'll give them till 10:10, which is a minute and 30 seconds.
Okay, you got a minute and 30 seconds to sign up. We got 6 people signed up right now. We should have a few more signed up. Come on, these are nice yo-yos, especially that Higby yo-yo. Where are you going to get one of those? Nowhere, because they don't.
Maybe they're scared of the man that's sitting in the circle on the other yo-yo.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, that could have turned everybody off. I will admit that could have been a total turn off, the Doc Lucky yo-yo. So. And, you know, look, I don't have to sign it if that is a turn off too. I can just leave it as a blank yo-yo. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. My ego may not be, but I'm okay with that. It could be a little deflated if you said, "No, please don't sign it." It would decrease the value.
I think if you say not to sign it, we might just have to sign one and send it to you anyway.
Yeah. So where are we? What's our countdown? 30 seconds to go here?
It's 10:10 now.
Oh, okay.
We've still only got 6 out of 20.
Well, okay. All right.
But Rick Rentz just tuned in.
Who?
Rick Rentz.
Rick. Oh, well, Rick's going to play. He's got to play, right? Sign in, Rick.
Rick, I'm going to give you another...
He's going to give you 20 seconds to sign in.
And in case you don't have the link, I'll give it to you right now. Again, for the 9th time to everybody.
Rick, hey, you're just in time for the trivia contest. Sign in now. There's the link. That'll give us lucky 7. Lucky 7. Only one will win the prize, though. So, and it is our Christmas episode, I guess you might say. This is the Christmas episode. So you're getting that Higby Santa yo-yo. Very rare, very collectible.
Oh, we got 7.
7, okay.
I think that was Rick. I think
okay,
so.
well, hopefully that Rick is in. If he's not, well, I'll see you next month. All right, let's see. I guess I got to log in too here.
Yes, you do.
Okay, here we go. So, so do I just hit the center button there? It looks like to get started.
What does it have it up? I should have it up for you.
Well, it says the game will begin shortly.
Oh yeah, I haven't started.
Oh well, okay, Sean, let's start this game. People are gnawing at the bit.
Start count.
It's going to start in 10 seconds, folks. And remember, the faster you answer, the more points you get. How much bigger in diameter is the current largest yo-yo, the Beth Johnson yo-yo, compared to the former world record holder, Bay College? 1 inch, 3 inches, 6 inches, 12 inches, or 24 inches? You should have watched the show closely and you would know that answer. There you go. You've got just 7 seconds left. And okay, the answer is 3 inches. Yeah, it was only 3 inches bigger. Only 3 inches bigger.
And the rankings are...
Let's go for the rankings. Let's see. Okay, we've got...
We only had 4 answers.
Only 4 answers. And what? Oh, 0 points for everybody. So everybody's still in the running. Even the people that didn't answer, you are still in the running because everybody's got 0. Okay, let's go on to second question. How many more pounds did the Beth Johnson yo-yo weigh than the Bay College yo-yo? 1,000 pounds, 2,000 pounds, 3,000 pounds, 4,000 pounds, or the Beth Johnson yo-yo weighed less than the Bay College yo-yo? What is it? Remember, the faster you answer, the more points you get. And we are running out of time. And okay, let's look at the correct answer. 4,000 pounds more. And that's, you know, and I think the reason for that is that Beth Johnson yo-yo was totally made out of wood, and this other one was made out of some kind of composite stuff. And obviously it had that kind of old high-low look to it, so it didn't have as much mass. Anyway, let's see how we did on the point scores now.
Yep. No one.
Wow, but we got more answers.
We did.
We got more answers, but 0 points. This is looking good for everybody.
It really is. It's a real close one.
We're talking random here. We're talking random. These are tough questions. Those are the 2 questions that are the toughest, though, because
okay.
I wouldn't have got them either. Okay, let's go to the third question. Here we go. All right. The second run of the original Duncan freehand was known as the Snot Green freehand, made for Infinite Illusions. How many yo-yos were produced in this run? A is only 10 prototype yo-yos were made. B, only 79 as the mold broke during production. C is 100. D is 200. And E is 500. And you have 3 seconds. 2, 1, and okay, let's see the correct answer. 200. Yes, there were only 200 of those yo-yos made, and I think the last time I saw one for sale on eBay, it went for over $400. That was mint in package. All right, let's see how somebody got that one, I'm sure, because we had that on previous show and we're talking about it. Oh, there we go. Who's cameraman Sean?
That's me.
We'll
exclude Sean from the running.
You don't.
I didn't think anybody was
Dano the Mano right now is the only one with legitimate points. You have no legitimate points whatsoever, Sean.
No, I know. Yeah. I have the answers in front of me.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Why are you playing? All right. That makes everybody ticked off because they want Dano the Mano wants to be ranked number 1. I'd be mad too.
Oh, they will be.
Okay, let's go on to question 4. It's still anybody's game here. The first yo-yo type of patent in the United States was called a what? A whirligig, a return top, a bandalore, rototop, or high-low? The first yo-yo type of patent, remember when it was patented way back when, they weren't called yo-yos. Unless you happen to live in the Philippines, and then of course they were. So there are your 5 choices. Who is going to shine now? Here we go.
Okay, ready?
And let's see it. Whirligig. All right, and it was the Whirligig. And let's see how that shifted. Okay, we got a couple of people got points there.
Okay, good.
Ricky just moved into the lead. Cameraman Sean, we can
we're trying to erase him.
Yeah, he shouldn't have even put that in there.
Okay,
so let's go on. Let's, what is this, our 4th or 5th question?
This is the last question.
Oh, this is the last question. It's anybody's game. You get this last question right and you get it fast, you very good chance of just winning it all. Okay, here we go. Let's roll it. What was the year the Whirligig was patented in the United States? And that's the Whirligig we were just talking about. 1766, 1789, 1866, 1889, and 1910. I hope you guys answered fast because you have a chance to win the whole thing here. We got 2 people with points. Show them the answer, Sean.
Dun, 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 dun.
That is the incorrect answer. It is 1866. I don't know how that happened.
Well, hold on a second. I can edit that.
Okay, can you give them the right points then? Okay. Oh, hopefully that did the right thing on the points. We'll see. Let's see who won. Ricky. All right. With who? How did he got 77 points on the last answer?
Yeah, because he answered quickly.
Oh, well, that is very good. That is amazing. So came from 0 to the top score on the very last question, which just goes to show that anybody can win this. And I assume is Nick the Nickinator?
Nick, yes.
You have the bragging rights. You have beat the Nickinator.
And
so,
Nick only answered 1 question correct, and it was the last one.
Yeah, hey, look, that's all it takes, right? That's all it takes. How did he wait a minute. It says he has 127 points.
You're looking at Ricky. I'm talking about Nick. Nick only
Yeah.
Right?
So, but Ricky must have gotten 2 questions.
He got 2 questions. Yeah.
Okay, so we need Ricky to send us. I'm not sure who would. Is this Rick Rentz?
Yes.
Okay.
Rentz.
Okay. Well, we just need to get your mailing address and we'll get you in those great yo-yos and all that. So I hope to see everybody next weekend at the state championships. Our next Yo-Yo Talk will be live on Thursday, January 5th at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to get in your Hall of Fame nominations. Time is running out for that. Everybody have a very Merry Christmas. I hope you get plenty of yo-yos from Santa. I usually get coal in my stocking, but last year I got some broken pieces of solar panels, so go figure. Anyway, remember, you can never have too many yo-yos. This is Doc Lockey signing off until this January whatever it was. See you then.